The reason why I feel Bayern Munich will get the job done is against Arsenal. I felt Arsenal will go to the Allianz Arena and dominate. Turned out they will go and shit their pants there. It is not my own fault. You understand? The lights were too bright. Players like Declan Rice, we now know his level. He's an Europa Conference League player. We now know that Bukayo Saka, once things do not go his way, he'll start limping on the field.
Once they were 32 and now they are 4. It's only a matter of time before we know what teams make it to the final of the 2023-2024 UEFA Champions League between Borussia Dortmund, PSG, Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. We get to discuss the possibilities of the semi-finals of the Champions League on today's edition of the show. I am Jidechi Chidezi and this is Crossfire, brought to you by Bet Bonanza.
All right, Tunde, let's get into it. Champions League final is set. Bayern Munich, PSG, Dortmund, and Real Madrid. Who do you see getting to this final?
First of all, I would like to point out my triumphant, prediction of the last round.
Tunde, you don't need to gloat.
It's my gloating. Allow me. Apologies to any Arsenal fans that may be watching. Tune off now. This does not concern you, at least anymore. But focus on Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid, semi-final. Proper Champions League tie. Like when you talk of European pedigree, Bayern Munich have 6 Champions League titles. Real Madrid obviously have 14 or 15. I even stopped counting. I stopped counting after the 10th one. But basically, these are Champions League teams. You see the other semi-finals as well. We'll take them like they are better than Arsenal. That's all we need to do. But Borussia Dortmund as a PSG. I think PSG is going through that one. And I think that the final is the final that's the best possible final. The final that makes the most sense right now is, a Real Madrid versus PSG final. Because the storyline is just so much better. Probably Mbappe's last game as a PSG player. If he beats the team that is supposed to join, then it makes it even more interesting. If he loses to them and join them, it's on some Kevin Durant type movement. Lose to a team in the final, then join them immediately after. So like that, the storylines for that, nobody wants to see Real Madrid versus Dortmund in the Champions League final. We know how that is going to end. Even though I've admitted, I said on this show multiple times, that PSG are actually not good, and I'm right, they are not. But Kylian Mbappe is playing the best football of his career right now, and that says a lot for someone that has already had a fantastic career so far. 42 goals and 9 assists in all competitions this season. It's ridiculous. Champions League top scorer, ridiculous. So it would be nice to see him in the Champions League final. And Mbappe in big games. We've seen him in 2 World Cup finals already. Actually in a World Cup final, a goal against Croatia in the 4-2 final as well. So like this is what he does. This is what he does, and I can't wait. I hope to see a Real Madrid versus PSG final. Dortmund, they've had a good run. I think their run is over. And for Bayern Munich, I pointed out last time, this Bayern Munich team is not good. I didn't say they beat Arsenal because they are good, though. I knew that they were not good when I chose them to beat Arsenal, because you really don't have to be that good to beat Arsenal in Champions League. Who have Arsenal played? They played Porto, played Sevilla, played Lens, played PSV. That's an Europa League lineup. The first serious team they played, that's in bad form, they lost. So when I tell you things and you sit down in your father's house and just talk rubbish on the internet, you should learn to listen. There's a reason I'm here and there's a reason you're at home when boxers doing nothing.
All right, shots fired. But Tosin, how do you see the Champions League final panning out? 4 teams left in the competition. Who are your final 2?
Very, very good semi-final lineup. I see a final between PSG and Bayern Munich. Now, people will say I predicted that Arsenal will get to the semi-final. I said it was a 50-50 clash. Let's get those facts right. I said it was a 50-50 clash. I predicted that PSG will beat by Barcelona. You have to give me a little bit of credit for that. You understand? So I look at the final between PSG and Bayern Munich. PSG obviously will beat Dortmund. So let's look at the semi-final between Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, 2 European giants. Why do I think Bayern Munich will beat Real Madrid? Obviously, when you look at the tie between Manchester City and Real Madrid, in my own opinion, Manchester City were the better team over the last 2 legs. And that's just a fact. Now, as it turns out, the better team doesn't always qualify. We get to know that. But the reason why I feel Bayern Munich will get the job done is against Arsenal. I felt Arsenal will go to the Allianz Arena and dominate. It turned out they will go and shit their pants there. It is not my own fault. You understand? The lights were too bright. Players like Declan Rice, we now know his level. He's an Europa Conference League player. We now know that Bukayo Saka, once things do not go his way, he'll start limping on the field. That's not my own fault. We figured that out. So let's go to the semi-final between Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. I feel over the 2 legs, Bayern Munich and Arsenal, Bayern Munich actually showed that they were superiority team in terms of possession. And against Manchester City actually had about 62% possession over the two legs. They actually had about 48 shots on target over the two legs. If you give a team led by Harry Kane 48 shots over two legs, I can guarantee you they will score more than 4 goals. And as much as people blame people like Nicolas Jackson for missing chances, Vinicius Junior actually misses a lot of chances for that Real Madrid setup. And Bayern Munich, as far as I'm concerned, I see a rematch between Bayern Munich and PSG. Obviously, the storyline. What about the storyline between PSG and Bayern Munich? We all remember in 2020, when PSG got to the Champions League final, they faced Bayern Munich. And obviously, as good as Kylian Mbappe was, he had a stinker in that game. This is his chance for redemption. Against Thomas Tuchel, his former coach that coached them to the Champions League final in 2020, now in charge of Bayern Munich. You understand? So he leads Bayern Munich to the final, hoping to get his second Champions League title against the team he coached before, while Kylian Mbappe has a chance of redemption against Bayern Munich, the team he lost to in 2020, and they get the job done. You see?
All right. I mean, Tunde, you said PSG and Real Madrid in the final. But of the 5 times PSG have met Barcelona in the Champions League knockout stages, the 2 times they actually defeated Barcelona to make it to the semifinals, they lost the semifinals on both occasions. Do you think you're underrating Dortmund at this point and you don't see Dortmund actually getting to that final?
I did not think I would come here to have to defend, the fact that Dortmund will not advance to the Champions League final. I mean, I guess you can look at probably, was it the last Wembley final? The last Wembley final, was it 2013, and it was actually Dortmund and Bayern Munich. So maybe you can say there's a chance for history to repeat itself and all that. But please, dead that. let me just let you know that there's zero chance. Dortmund in the Champions. Ow, with who? Sancho. Please, can we let us be serious? I did not take my bath this morning to come and talk about Dortmund in the Champions League final. I'm not even entertaining the idea. I've told you PSG are not good. It's not so I don't even rate PSG that much. But please, it's not Dortmund. These 2 teams actually met in the group stages, actually, and Dortmund finished top of their group. So I'm sure there's somebody waiting in the comment section to type, actually, shut up. I'm talking to you. Shut up. There's no chance. Semi-final is not the group stages. When the lights are bright, you have Kylian Mbappe. If Mbappe chokes to Dortmund, remove him from any Ballon d'Or discussion, remove him from the GOAT debates, whatever. Take him out. That's simple. And for the other semi-final, I've said it again, but it seems Tosin was listening to music when I was talking. So I'm going to tell you again that there's absolutely no chance that you said Harry Kane will score 5 goals, whatever. How many goals did Harry Kane score against Arsenal? No, answer me. How many goals did Harry Kane score against Arsenal? It was not from the penalty spot. How many goals did Haaland score against Real Madrid? Because you are talking like it's only Harry Kane that knows how to score goals. I'm not going to say much on this again. PSG, Real Madrid final, Oppo Bet Bonanza, put your life savings on it. I guarantee you. I put my stamp of authenticity.
That's all on you if you do that. But Tosin, let's talk about pedigree. Tunde chose to totally ignore the fact that Dortmund are former Champions League winners. That is what's going to play when these 2 teams meet, Real Madrid and Bayern. Do you think pedigree would play a huge role?
Pedigree has its place, but obviously, like you talked, both Real Madrid and Bayern Munich are European champions. They have a lot of titles. Now, when you look at the game between PSG and Dortmund, no disrespect to Dortmund, I picked PSG to beat my own Barcelona, and you're asking me about Dortmund.
That's out of hatred for Xavi.
But that's not out of. I look at things from an objective perspective. My knowledge about the game over 2 decades as a journalist. You understand? So it is what it is. Now let's now look at the game between Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, which I told you, and I already see some of us, we have the gift from God. We are able to see things, like I told you, in the Africa Cup of Nations, that Nigeria will not. People looked at me and said, "I'm a prophet of doom." I'm not a prophet of doom. I'm a prophet of correctness.
What happened to the Arsenal? What happened to the Arsenal?
You understand? When I said it was a 50. We can bring out it's on video. I said it's a 50-50 clash. When I say something is a 50-50 clash, what does that?
How is it 50-50?
Do you know? Do you know? Did you do maths? Did you do elementary?
50-50,
Forget calculus. Forget algebra. Did you do elementary maths? 50-50 means anybody can win. So I picked Arsenal. I just tilted towards them. I don't have any affinity for Arsenal. I don't even like Arsenal like that. But I just picked them instantaneously. But looking at this, some of us, they gave us the vision. We talked about juju in football the other day. Some of us, we have the sightseeing gift. And I told you, I've already given you the details. It is a path for redemption for Kylian Mbappe. I already laid out the plan, the architecture, everything, the surrounding. So when you look at it and given my talents and my correctness over a long period of time, compared to just one fluke result that you are able to get in recent time and your chest is already big, you're already the element of pride has already entered you. You're feeling too big, putting your hands in your pocket. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. You are giving me an ostentatious, you are giving me a flamboyant. You made one right prediction in like 50 predictions, and you are being braggadocious. I've already told you what will happen. If you like, follow Tunde's advice and be a homeless person. That's your own wahala. I've already told you what happened. The final is PSG versus Bayern Munich. Book it on Bet Bonanza.
Wahala day. All right, let me bring you guys into the conversation. How do you see the semifinals of this Champions League panning out? Borussia Dortmund versus PSG and Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid. Do you think the heavyweights in this one will take it, or do you see possibly an underdog story in this both semi-final matches? Drop your comments down below. We are very much interested in what you think. This has been Crossfire, brought to you by Bet Bonanza. High odds, fast payout.